All right, everybody, welcome back to the farmstead. We've been working on this. This is going to be the new home for the wood milling machine. We had to kind of do something with it. So I have been lucky enough to work on a job site with some really cool guys that have been trying to help me out. All of this, well, the majority of this zip it system. Hang on. All of this wood from the zip system stuff has all come from a job site where they made some changes. A lot of it was installed and then removed. They were going to throw it in a dumpster, so I grabbed it. I have a ton. These were the full pieces, so I used them here. I have a lot of shorter pieces. They're 4x3, 4x4, which we're going to use later on, but I got really lucky. Let me tell you, we're not rich here, but we do the best with what we have where we are. So even the windows, they came from a job site. They were given to me for free about 3 years ago, I think. Again, they were making changes and there was a general contractor. He just wanted to get rid of them. I took those and a whole bunch of other ones that we incorporated in the building, as well as the house, my house that we've been working on. So I've been like a kid with a Christmas present that I'm not allowed to open right now because, as you can see, the wood, the lumbering mill right here, it's been there for 2 days. I dropped it there. It's been raining off and on, which is really the real reason why I haven't had a chance to open it. But I had to get this together to open it up because we want to make it and have it here. So I think I'm going to try to start tomorrow to open it up. I'll be doing a video when I can do that. I've got a lot of cleaning up to do. But again, 99.9% of all this lumber came out of what would have been in a dumpster. All of these pieces, they're around 22, 21 and a half inches by 8 feet. They were going to toss them on a dumpster. All of the 2x4 by 12s, they were going to toss them on a dumpster. Even the beams, these are cutoffs. They were just pieces that were cut off, longer ones. They were going to throw all those away. This is actually one of them that I haven't used for anything yet. So we're just incorporating what we have where we can use it. When I get the machine going, I'm going to start milling posts out of oak out here. These are just temporary. Again, more wood that would have been thrown out. Believe it or not, there is a ton of stuff that they throw away. I did buy the 6x6 posts, which I got lucky on another deal for that. They weren't in the greatest shape, so I basically paid for 2 and got 1 for free at a Busy Beaver locally here. So I've been very lucky on this is how we can afford this. Now the other cool part is this is insulated, this zip system. So when the machine is running, it should help to keep down on some of the noise, because you know we're going to eventually close in the sides. I think the front I have a plan for. I don't know if I'm going to actually close that in, but I have a plan for that. These pieces of foam, I have 5 more of them. They're probably going to go into the ceiling in between the trusses. That way, again, to cut down, because once that thing starts running, it'll get loud, and anything to absorb that sound will be helpful. Probably big swinging doors on the sides. Haven't quite decided on how that's going to work out yet. Again, my main concern was a roof and that wall, just to get it built and get it going, and then we can go from there. There's underground for the electrical installed. That's going to go over to the building. That's going to go over to the building, and that'll give us our lights and a couple of plugs for in here so we can see what we're doing even whenever it's a little dark. So yeah, we poured the concrete today, Wyatt and I. These posts are down 3.5 feet, give or take, and then there's a footer poured across all of them with rebar to kind of tie it all together. We've had some really crazy winds up here, and I've actually stood on the roof, and I'm about 210, 220 pounds, and it didn't collapse. So, you know, that's a good sign. So I think we're, as far as structural integrity, we're in good shape. Plus, as time goes on, I'll be doing more and more and more to kind of strengthen it and neaten it up and nicen it up. But it's been a while since I've been able to do an actual video on like any kind of update. So I thought I would throw this in there because the real reason for this channel is to document this entire process. If you don't know, I'm not from the country. We're just learning as we go. I don't know a whole lot about any of this stuff. We're learning as we go. So I'm documenting it along the way for everybody, for me, for my kids, for my family, and for anyone that wants to follow the journey. So, you know, maybe one day I'll do a real in-depth story behind it, but that would be for another day. But what I do want to do is I'm thinking we're going to mill the lumber in here. Swinging doors probably on both sides of these sides. I have a big roll down screen that, you know, for another video I'll show you. It's 16 feet long. I got that for free from one of the jobs I was on. Very expensive, but they cut it at the wrong size and there wasn't nothing they could do with it. So it should be like partially open. I don't think we need to totally enclose this. There's drainage underneath, worst case scenario, so if you could see that pipe down there. But I would like to put maybe a roof out here, 5 or 6 feet, and then maybe some shelves or something along those lines. I'm sure I'll figure it out along the way, and that's where we're going to stack the wood for it to dry after it's milled in here. So this for us is going to be another big step in the process of the building up here, because now, as you can see, we have some timber laying around, and I have a lot more laying around all over the place. There's a lot of trees that came down over there. Nice long big oak trees and a lot of cherry trees that were blown down. If you could see, if you haven't seen my other videos, there was a massive storm that blew down a lot of trees, and it was really crazy that day because they actually fell on this power line, which was very crazy. Anyway, what we're going to do is take advantage of that. Damn phone cover. We're going to take advantage of that. We're going to grab those trees and we're going to bring them over to here, which is in part for the idea of where I built this. So this little road will go all the way around that back side over to there. There used to be a road on this back side. It's so overgrown and the trees have fell down there. It would take a while for me to sort of bring that back to functional. We'll eventually make it so we can get ATVs back there, but the other road runs all the way down that way. Believe it or not, these used to be county roads. They have been long since abandoned. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be able to walk down here. There was trees that were cut whenever they were maintaining for the power line. They just all fell down. There was a mountain of them that we drug out when we were beginning to clear this. So anyway, that's the access that I'm using to bring the trees down, bring them to here, and kind of either roll them off or lift them off. At some point, I'm in search of an I-beam now, but at some point I'm going to try to put a pulley system in here so that we can kind of grab the logs, bring them over, you know, and set them down onto the machine. Anyway, that is the hope that I'm going to try to do. As long as I have the time to do it, it will be done. But I just wanted to make a quick video about where we are, this kind of stuff. I mean, just the fact that I got this material has been a huge blessing. Like, I mean, this stuff is not cheap at all. So, you know, it's been very helpful. Some of those guys actually do subscribe to the channel. I've thanked them before, and I'll thank them again right now. Thank you for trying to help. I mean, these if I had to buy all this stuff, it would be a long process. So just, even though it's garbage to you guys, it's very valuable for me. As they say, one man's garbage is another man's treasure. So for now, that's where we're gonna leave this one, because I've been busy, and now I got a whole mess to clean up. I got all this stuff I have to get together and get cleaned up. But I did want to make another video, and I appreciate anybody watching. If anybody has any advice, anybody has any questions, leave them in the comments. All right, you guys, have a good day.